do you think of this group so far?
Great. I love the competition we have every day. We get to come in and just push each other to be our best. Sure.
What's the biggest thing you've learned in the past year now that you've been in the program for a year?
Definitely just go out here every day, just have the mindset. I got to learn a lot from Billy. Just being behind him last year and just getting to see how he works and just his work ethic. Just seeing how the program is from Ethan Downs, Danny Stutz, they were great leaders last year. And, we just get to carry on, as we say, just DTS every day, defend that standard. So, I had great teachers, so we just got to go on and carry it on.
What's it like playing next to Robert, too?
Playing next to Robert, man, makes my job so much easier. He's a great teammate, great brother out there. He helps me in the film room, and it helps me out there on the field every time.
Talking to Robert, he wants to be a better leader this year. He wants to be a leader this year. Do you see that out of him?
Oh, yes, sir, every day. He comes out there every day trying to push us harder, and, just by his work ethic, by what he can do, so just lead the way for us.
How much have you and Mike and Reggie just kind of been able to all grow and just get better together, kind of going through this all at the same time, same class, that sort of thing?
A lot. We were best friends in the dorms. We got to spend every day together. Come home every day, watch film on my PC, and just, go on about our nights, come back at next day, get the work in. So you see how it's helped our friendship and, our bond and just how we play together on the field. So I feel like it's, how we work together every day just benefits all of us.
It seems like you've taken quite a big step up from last year to this year. Can you kind of pinpoint a time where it just kind of clicked for you and where you thought, I am taking this next step?
Just trying to be Coach B. Vitez says it all the time. Just reach your highest potential. What is your floor every day? Just get to your floor and raise that floor up, because you never know what your ceiling can be. So, like I said, I just try to use that every day, just to be my best version of me. Just help the guys out next to me, and just, like I said, be the best me at the end of the day.
How has Coach Hall helped you in that regard, and what's it like playing with him?
Coach Hall, I'd say, is one of the biggest helps I've had since I got here. Really slow stuff down for me, and just talks to me, just help me understand it, comprehend it. And like I said, he's always there for me, always somebody I can call on.
What have you made going up against this offense so far this spring?
John Materi's a dude. He's a competitor, and he just wants to go out there and push everybody to their limit. So having that guy, seeing him every day, go against him and compete against him, has definitely made the defense better.
As a safety, you look at Materi's game. What's the one thing that you have to be extra mindful of? What's the one thing that he does that you have to take into account when you're getting ready to execute your assignment?
I feel like he's a savvy football player. He's very smart. Always keeping his eyes on the swivel, trying to see, what the safety's doing, who's blitzing, who's not. Like I said, he's just a very smart quarterback. He's a competitor, like I said. So just having to play against his mind and try to confuse him, that's probably one of the hardest things I've had to do. And like I said, it's probably his mind savvy.
Outside of your tier, what's been the biggest difference between the offense that you've got, like comparing last year to this year?
Mm-hmm.
What's been the biggest step, difference between the two?
I'd definitely just say the energy. I feel like there's a lot of energy coming from the new guys and it's the staff, and it's contagious at the end of the day.
What's it been like with Brent now calling the defense and being the defensive coordinator? Any differences?
How PV is. He's intense. So, but all of us, we love that. It perfects the details. And like I said, for him to be really focused back on us and trying to take that next step as a defense, I feel like it's huge.
A lot of young guys say that this defense is really tough to learn at safety. What's maybe the most difficult thing to learn about Venables' defense?
The hardest thing I'd probably say to learn is just, the man just trying to be accountable for everybody next to you. Just know the man's job next to you, so you're not, knowing how to play fast, and you know what I'm saying. That's probably the hardest thing, just to learn everybody's job.